Guys, it is that time of the week, yes, once again, where I am reviewing the weekly episode of Peacemaker. This is episode 2. A man is nothing without his eagle. Guys, I'm going to go through the story points. I'm going to give you my score, and then we're going to go into the positives and negatives. Right off the bat, I'll just give you my score. This is an 8 out of 10. This was a very good follow-up to the first episode. Is it as good as the first episode? No. This is 100% a slower one. Not a bad thing, though. I think it's slower because we take more time to, slow down, build up the characters a little bit more than we did in the last episode. We get to spend more time with Harcourt. We get to spend more time with Adebayo. We get to meet new characters like Flurry, who is my new favorite character of all time. So, guys, let's get into this. So we start off at the very beginning. Rick Flag Sr., 8 months ago, became head of Argus, demanding to see what happened to his son. So if I'm correct, Superman was like 6 months ago. So he became head of Argus right before Superman. But Peacemaker season 1 was a year ago. So it's like a little bit after that. So I think I'm getting that right. So we get the big reveal that he knows. He knows what's going on. He knows the exact ins and outs of how Peacemaker killed him, which does kind of bring into question again, and I know I'm going to be complaining about this every episode, but it's like, in the first episode, we had this not perfect, but pretty good sort of reconfiguration of season 1. So, instead of the Justice League, it's the Justice Gang. So it's like, the Justice League, all that stuff never existed. Don't even think about it. But in this one, we mention not Project Starfish exactly, but we mention the area that Project Starfish was in. We see clips from the movie The Suicide Squad. So again, it's just one of those things where I'm going to keep thinking, like, is that movie canon? Or are we going to get some sort of a big mind-blowing reveal where it's like, oh, this was just a Peacemaker Rick Flag Jr. solo mission. Oh, and shit went wrong and something like that happened. I would accept that as an answer, honestly. It was just like a random mission that both of them were on and he ended up killing them. I think that would work the best, but just don't involve much more of that plot. But that's fine. So anyway, next up, we then see the aftermath of Chris accidentally killing his Earth 2 counterpart, so the other Peacemaker. He calls Vigilante to come help him clean it up. They set the body on fire. It is completely gone. Vigilante has a funny moment where he sees the aftermath of like the orgy from the first episode. Like best friends should have sex. And it's like, oh. So, that's a pretty good moment. I really like this. John Cena, again, I cannot explain how good he's gotten at acting. From his initial being Fred's dad in Fred the movie to here. It is insane. Like the moment where, so he's like picking up his Earth 2 counterpart's like sawed up body, and his Earth 2 counterpart's head like falls out of the bag, and he just picks up his own head and he's just staring at it. And in that moment, it's just like, holy, this is insane. Because you could tell he's just blown away by it. He's having this existential crisis. And I really love that, just the massive difference of Chris in the first season versus Chris in this season. Like, it's still the same guy, but you can tell that he's gone through so much shit between what happened in the movie, with Rick Flag Jr. to having to kill his own dad. Like, it's just insane. And at first I was a little iffy on it, like, oh, where'd the goofiness go? But it's still there. It's just underlined by just trauma, just dumps and dumps of trauma. And I love that. And after this, we see a little update with Adebayo, with her girlfriend. And boy, me and my fiance, our blood was boiling with this chick. Her girlfriend is the saltiest human being alive. Adebayo is like, I'm following my dream. And the girlfriend's like, but it's at my cost. But I'm feel bad for me because I can't go back to Gotham. It's like, go back to Gotham by yourself. Go. Get out of here. I will say, I am glad, though, that the tension is there. Because you love Adebayo as a character. She's such a great character. I want to see her succeed. And I see this relationship, as she's walking out the door, she's like, I love you. And her girlfriend just like goes tss, tss. I'm like, bro, get out of here. Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. I don't care how bad the fight is. You always say, I love you back. You son of a bitch. But yeah, so after that, Harcourt, we see that she has her weekly meltdown. Essentially, last week's episode, she went into the bar and picked a fight. In this one, she's getting like medicine at like a CVS. And this lady comes up to her, seeing that she has this bruised face. And this lady, she's just trying her best. She's like, yeah, if you're in a bad relationship, there's people you can talk to. And Harcourt just flips out on her. Her whole character arc right now is her just denying that she has a problem. We see it in the first episode, how her therapist is like, you have toxic masculinity. That's all it is. And we see that full-fledged here. And we'll see that a little bit later on too, because we have this big party where all the 11th Street kids, all the main characters, they meet up, they're drinking beers. Chris, Peacemaker, he's talking to Harcourt, and he's like, you went into that bar, and that's a bad bar, so I'm assuming you picked the fight. And she's like, you're the bitch, not me. And man, oh man, the acting is so good. You feel the pain in Chris, because Chris is just trying to help. And she's like, go shove a rod up your ass. And he's just like, oh, all right, sure. Yeah, I guess, why not? But anyway, before that, I kind of skipped ahead a little. We meet the best character in the entire show, Agent Flurry. Guys, this guy, I don't know what his deal is, but he's so funny. So essentially, Economos is spying on Chris, Peacemaker's house, because he's living in his dad's house now, and his dad has this portal to another dimension. And essentially, Argus is trying to figure out, whoa, Lex Luthor had a weird dimension. Now Peacemaker's got a weird dimension. That's weird. That's odd. So Economos is spying on him. Rick Flag Sr. thinks that he's gonna, he's a little iffy because he's Chris's friend. So he sends an Agent Flurry who has bird blindness. That is so incredibly funny to me. I don't know if that's a real thing. I would love it if it is, but it's like, so he sees a hummingbird and a bald eagle, and he's like, that's the same thing. It's the same thing to me. I don't know the difference. So we have this moment where when Economos leaves to go to the party that I mentioned earlier, Agent Flurry and a bunch of misfits break into Peacemaker's house, and they're like, whoa, look at this big old portal here. And Eagly just starts annihilating them. And Agent Flurry, he's looking at it, he's like, it's a duck, it's a duck. It's so funny. And yeah, again, that's the thing. It's a slower episode. Yes, it's a lot of character building in this one, but I don't mind that as long as the humor's still there, as long as the characters we're following are still good characters, and they are. And then finally, going back to the party, after Harcourt essentially tells Peacemaker to go F himself, Peacemaker's like, you know what? The other dimension seems pretty cool right about now. He goes over there, he texts Harcourt in the other dimension, and she sends a hey dot with a little heartbreak emoji. Essentially, for us boys out there, you know what that means. That means hey yo, I kind of miss you. Yeah, I'm with Chris on this one. I'm staying in this dimension. Everyone hates him in the first one, but obviously we're supposed to feel that way. So the episode ends off with Chris looking into the second dimension, all the trophies, the pictures of him and Harcourt with his brother and his dad wondering where he's at. So we leave off on a super cool note. We get a little preview of episode 3 of him interacting actually inside of Earth 2. So yes, guys, I'm incredibly excited for episode 3. Episode 2 is a banger, an 8 out of 10. Let's go into my specific positives and negatives. Obviously, like I said before, Eagly and Flurry are the best parts of the episode. I was laughing so hard at the moment he's trying to shoot Eagly, and he can't because he's like, I don't know how big it is. Flurry in general is just absolutely great. There's a really funny conversation he has with Economos and himself, where they see Vigilante and he's like, hey, he's a nerd. I bet he collects all the Pokemon, huh? The Pokemon. It's stupid, but I love it. Other than that, character development, especially hardcore and Adebayo, amazing in this one. I want to see more of that. Normally, with like random relationships on the side, I wouldn't care, but I do care because they've built them up very well. And there are a few negatives. I mentioned one at the very beginning, the whole DCEU versus DCU. Is the Suicide Squad canon? If it is, are we going to change a few things? You know, because one thing that James Gunn did say regarding like Margot Robbie, like, oh, is she still Harley Quinn? He was like, yeah, maybe, probably, but she's not like in the universe yet. And again, that's just making me think. It's like you have this cutscene from that movie where it's like, oh, okay, this is him killing Rick Flag Jr. But then it's like Margot Robbie doesn't exist as Harley Quinn, but that's the same movie. That's just, I don't know. That's weird. I'm sure they'll explain it, but that will be a very big negative if we get to the end of the season and there's like nothing there. Because I'm going to need more than just, oh, the Justice Gang instead of Justice League. Like, I get that, but you can't have connections to the Suicide Squad and not expect people to connect the dots to other connections. Because again, I'm going to say it again, if him killing Rick Flag Jr. is canon, then it would mean the Project Starfish is canon. And that leads to Harley Quinn. That leads to Batman. That leads to Jared Leto's Joker. That leads to so much more. We have to draw a line. And my last couple things, actually just one thing. The final action scene where Eagly is taking out a bunch. I love it. There's some very gory, gruesome moments. However, it's a little too dark, where there's some moments where I just kind of can't tell what's happening. And normally movies or TV shows will do that to like hide some of the violence so that way they can keep a lower rating. But like we just had an orgy. So it's like, there's not really a reason to hide anything. So it's like, show me more of that stuff. I mean, we see a guy's eye getting like ripped out and that's cool. But there's a lot of moments where it's just like Eagly's wings in the camera. And I'm like, come on, let me see what he's doing. That and the other unrealistic part of that is Eagly like cuts everyone's throats and shit, and then they all get up afterwards and they're like, oh, we got to get out of here. I'm like, hell no, dude. If someone slit my throat, I'd be laying, I would be dead. That's all there is to it. But guys, this episode's an 8 out of 10, an incredibly good episode. I cannot wait for episode 3. Catch me next week to review that one up to the finale. But with that, I shall see you guys in the next episode. See ya.